Well, friends, very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the day 4 of our training. I believe all are settled down, good to go. Okay, fine then. Let's go to our case studies folder and the file what we have started working in the day one, like corporate case studies. Let's go and open that. If you remember, we discussed in our day two, like the formulas VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, VLOOKUP with approximate match, how to use it, and the rules of VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. All these things we have understood. So I believe everyone is clear with that concept, right? Now let's go for one step up. There is a sheet called advanced lookup. Okay. So now we are going to see when the situation demand or the problem statement, something like bit complex situation, and how to deal with the same instead of doing the task repeatedly manually or doing some kind of ready-made adjustments, how to do it with no time. So let me take you through the data. So please try to connect with it. We have a employee related database. You can notice, say near about 10,000 people I am in my organization. Now my boss said me, Prabhas, why don't you create a template in such a way? Whenever I go and type any of the employee ID, corresponding details should be available. So what my boss is saying, the data of 10,000 records, something like this, he doesn't want to go for the entire records. He's asking me to create a template, something like this, so that when he goes and types any of the employee ID, the corresponding details should be available. And this is what most of the time we need for preparing any kind of dashboard, summary report, or any kind of tabular data. We need all these things. Okay. So how to do that? It's not like something new, the situation we are quite aware of. So what we do basically in that case, anybody can give me some opinion on this? What we do? Whatever it comes to your mind, not issue. You unmute and speak, not a problem. I believe my audio is reaching. Yes, no, somebody, please.
Yes, audible.
Okay. Yes, Aishwarya. See, take a situation. Suppose my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire employee related records. So I gave them respective T code in my system, in my SAP, and I download a report. Near about 10,000 records, it comes in this format. Okay. Now, when you showed the same to your boss, he's not happy. He's saying, Prabhas, this data is of no use for me. Do me a favor, create a template in such a way so that whenever I go and type any of the employee ID, the corresponding details should be available. Say for sample case, in our data, ID 004, who is that person? Is it Mr. D?
Yeah, Mr. D.
So it should come over here below to the name. What's his department? Legal should come over here. What's his position? Manager should over here. And how much is the salary should appear over here. So this is what we are expecting. So if that is the case, what we do or what is the options choice you have? Now, if I ask you, please bring me the name, what you could have done? Forget about all these things. If I would have asked you, just bring me the name, depending upon the ID, get me the name. So you would have gone for is equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data, comma, taking these two columns, and then, comma, which column I am having the name is the number two. What kind of match? Exact match. We could have got it, right? This is a simple VLOOKUP we discussed other day. This is how we do. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. Now, along with the name, we need department, position, salary. So ideally, when I go for over here, now this data, employee ID, should not move right. So I go for locking the same. Now this range, I'm not looking for. I'm looking for department, position, salary. So I will extend my range. Now this range should not move right or move down. I should lock it again. This one what we're starting with. Okay. So this range should not move down or move right. So we should lock this also. Yes, of course. And now the moment I go for this and populate the data towards right, what I'm getting? All the places Mr. D only, because the column index number, if you look at, it is not changing from 2 to 3, it is not changing from 3 to 4, it is not changing. This is the reason why we are facing this trouble. So what we have understood, we have to go on repeatedly working with this 2 to 3. We need to change over here, then position. Again, I need to go and change the column index number. Then again for salary, I need to go and change this column index number to 5. Then only we can get our result. So basically what it seems that we have to keep repeatedly using this VLOOKUP formula and slightly need to change the column index number. This is how we do, right?
Yes.
So this is what it's a time consuming job. It's a time taking job. Now I have only four columns. I need to bring the answer. I could design something like this. Now take a real time situation. You have only employee code and you need to bring your employee name, date of joining, what is his date of birth, what is his email ID, phone number, address, all these corresponding details if you want to bring it. So how many times you need to keep changing the column index number? Imagine that. So this is the reason why what we did or what is the practice we have people, we have to stop doing it. Now, how to make some things better over here? Just see. First of all, try to understand one logic. In this whole set of data, how many columns are there?
Five.
Five columns. Now, name is in which column?
Second column.
Second. Department third, position four, salary five. This is how we count, right? So if I look my template, which is below, is it in the same pattern? Second, third, fourth, fifth. So if I would like to go for my column index number is supposed to be this numbers. Do you agree? If I would like to go for VLOOKUP, my column index numbers has to be this, right? But I'm not going to use this anywhere in the formula. This is just for the understanding I'm creating. I'm not going to use any kind of helper columns or additional columns over here. So now the question is, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it a chronological order? Is it a series? Yes. So we have understood our data is in a series and the same series we are also looking for. Well, now start working with me. Select our entire solution area. The way we have started our operation in day one, some improvements we made how to write our formula. Similarly, go for selecting the entire solution array and go for equal to formula VLOOKUP. Why VLOOKUP? Why not HLOOKUP? Yes, people.
Because the data set is in the vertical,
Which data is in vertical?
the uh, the base data.
Like which is the best data? You can refer that in terms of your column row references. So if you remember, I told you the rules. VLOOKUP. If you want to apply, the first rule says data has to be in vertical format. And explain there also which data has to be in vertical format. So here I should have said base data. So base data is which data is your base data. So that is called nothing but master data. So master data is here. So this employee IDs is there in vertical format. And even if I'm going for our IDs, this is going to be in vertically only. I'm going to type. So that's the reason why our data is ready for VLOOKUP and we should go for application of VLOOKUP. Now, why we need to go for VLOOKUP? We got the clarity. I believe all clear with that. How to take a call? What should be your approach for the problem? I'm giving you entire stuffs. Okay. Now, lookup value. When I took this over here, employee ID, this employee ID should not move right, means A11 should not go to B11, but A11 should go to A12. Reason, tomorrow, if at all any other further employee IDs are there, my boss is going to keep on typing in the same column only, right? So A11 should not go to B11, but A11 should go to A12. So which one we should restrict and which one we should keep it on? Column should not change, but row should be changing. So column should be locked, row should be free. So this is what we have learned in our day two also, right? That is your day diff formula. So we need to make column constant. Very good, Sunita. So we need to make it as column constant. And to make it column constant, F4 three times. So this is what the setup for lookup value we had given. Now what it demands me, table array. Where is the table array? Starting from employee ID till salary. We need everything. And this data should not move down or move right. So no movement. So F4 once. And the range will be locked. The array will be locked. Comma. What's the next one? Column index number. COL stands for column index number. And here, just stay focused. In place of column index number, people, we are expecting 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? But we can't define all these things together. And neither we can go to each and every cell and edit the formula. So what we should do, how to get this 2, 3, 4, 5? If you remember, in our day one, I told you about the vendor evaluation by taking the formula help called small and large. And there we were looking for 1, 2, and 3, and we were using a helper column of 1, 2, 3. And I told you that is not an idle practice. And to get those 1, 2, 3 in the formula itself, we used a formula called row, isn't it? Because we are looking for multiple row-wise value. But here we are looking for multiple column-wise value. So instead of row function, we should go for a formula naming called column. So like row formula gives the row number as the answer, column formula gives the column number as the answer. Okay, so I'll go for a column formula. So column formula, which column will be giving the answer? Now, which column you are typing the formula? Just see in the column header, light gray and dark gray. So where the dark gray starts is from B. It means I am in column B and operating with the formula. So B is a alphabet. Technically, if you count, what is the number going to happen with the B? Is the number 2. Now this column formula will be giving me number 2. Let's check it out. Is it giving 2? Right? Yes, it's giving 2. Now, this 2 is going to become the column index number for VLOOKUP. And is it the same number we were expecting the moment we started the discussion manually over here, right? So now formula is ready. Column formula is giving over here. Now come on. VLOOKUP, as we know, how it ends up with always with exact match. And for that, we go and end up with the formula 0, bracket close. Formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for rest. So what is the shortcut? Control, enter, and see the beauty. With one shot, one go, entire things will be ready. So this is how people, this kind of formula, you can make use of that whenever you need to go for any kind of summary report, dashboards, templates, or tabular format of your data. So try this and check anything is not working or any queries, do let me know.
Prabhas, I have a question, just a small
Yeah,
doubt.
ask. No problem.
Yeah, yeah. Could you just again repeat the logic of that column?
Yeah. See, we were looking for 2, 3, 4, 5 as the column index number. Is that clear? For VLOOKUP formula, to get our name or department, position, salary, and all, we were looking for all these numbers in this our data. Second column is dealing with name, third is department, fourth is position, and salary is the fifth one. So if I start counting my column index number, this would be the number I'm expecting, correct? Right, Ashurya? Is it clear why we
Yes,
have?
yes. Got it.
Now, if I ask you, now which column I have selected, what is the column I have selected?
Second column?
Second. How did you know? Because there is no 2 over here. There is a B over here. But B, if you calculate, count, B number 2 it gets, right? So now the same thing, if I go and find the answer in Excel, I'll be using a formula called column. Okay. So this column formula also will be giving me the same answer. Just see,
Yeah.
are you getting the
Okay.
same answer?
Yes,
Now the
yes.
same thing when I go and apply towards right, my column will keep changing. So whatever we are expecting, those things, my column formula is giving the answer. That's why we use column formula in the formula.
Got it.
Yeah. So this will be very, very helpful. As I told you, the scenarios and in our routine activities, definitely it helps a lot and we can avoid the duplication of work and you don't need to keep changing the formula references time and again when there is a need. So if at all any question, do let me know. So Sunita has confirmed he has done. How about others? See, Excel is purely based on the logic. If your logic is clear, you can definitely solve many more problems. All right. Now let us go for our scenario number 2. Same data over here. Okay. So this is what our master data we have. Now, what is that we are looking for is the details about IT003. So this situation will go and be discussed later. Just give me another 3 minutes. I will take you to some beautiful things also. Okay. Now take a look on our situation one only, scenario one only. Now I have designed the formula. I have sent it across something like this. So do you believe that when I'm designing a template, I could create a sample data like this and I can send it across to someone? So template, how it supposed to be remain? Template is supposed to remain as blank. So if I go on employee ID, just select employee ID and if you delete, what happens? Watch your screen. Just delete the employee ID. Are you getting the entire formula is in toss and it is showing some
Yes.
kind of error hash NA, right? And why this kind of errors are coming up? Because of data absence. Now I cannot again just keep this kind of formula having hash NA and sending it across the template to boss. So anybody, whomever, not only my boss, whoever is watching, they will be asking question. I am not yet given anything, it is showing NA. What is the meaning? So this is how people, when you are sending the template, you should send in a proper template format. So this kind of errors, which is because of data absence, the formula is generating, we need to handle this. So to handle this kind of errors, we need to add one more formula naming called if error. What is that? If error. Now see the beauty. I'll go and select my entire solution array, not the blank cell, only the solution array. And before we look up, I'll go and apply if error. If error. Now just have a look in the formula bar of mine how it is working. Okay, this is the formula. Now when I have declared that I need to go for application of if error, okay, how it works. So first Excel will be applying VLOOKUP formula. If at all VLOOKUP formula gives an error, then in step 2 our if error will be applied. So this is how the Excel formula works. Now when you have already declared that if error to be applied, then how it is going to work, let me take you through. Just see, it is asking me if VLOOKUP is returning a answer, fine, and that is error, then how you are going to replace with. So that we need to give it comma, and then whatever the text, alphabets, numbers, anything you want as an output, you must define within two double inverted quotes. Now, since we are working in a template, I told you in day one itself how the template has to be. Always remain blank. So for blank purpose, what is that we need to define the instructions? It is two double inverted quotes without any space and then bracket close. Formula is ready only for a cell, but it is going to apply for the entire range. What is the shortcut? Control Enter and see. As long as there is no data over here, my formula remains silent. Now tomorrow, if I copy something over here and paste it, do you see my data is ready? So this is how people, if error is the formula, can be combined with any formula of our Excel, and you can handle the formula driven errors over here. So give it a try and check. Is it working? Fine then. So now, again, take a look at this same situation. Let's go and analyze for one more time. Now, take a situation. Suppose this is what I have created by just deleting my employee ID and keeping all the formulas intact. The template, I have sent it across to my boss. All right. Now, what happens? He just typed some data in this format. Like he went there and he typed the data in something like this. And this is not working. And immediately he got panic. And he asked me, Fawaz, what kind of template you have designed? It's not working. So I got shocked. I got surprised. What happened all of a sudden? Because I checked twice before sending this file to him and everything was working fine. So now what I need to do, I have to just leave my work as it is what I was in mid of the way. And I have to go to his cabin. And when I watch his laptop, I could realize that he has committed a mistake. It's a silly mistake. He did not type the data properly. Now, definitely that is quite frustrating. That is quite annoying, right? But in this case, whose time is being wasted? Of course, it's mine. So who is held responsible for that? Can I blame to my boss at any point of time? We know the corporate truth. Boss is always right. You cannot blame to your boss, isn't it? So whose mistake is this? Definitely, it's our mistake because who has given that opportunity to commit the mistake? Definitely, it's us. So what you have understood from this is whenever you create a template, people always give a least options to the user to type the data. And the same thing you can handle. The errors can be minimized. The errors can be handled by simply creating a drop-down list. So now the question is how to create a drop-down list in A11 cell. So start working with me. Keep your cursor in A11 over here and just go to our data menu. Okay. And there you can go for data validation. And I told you yesterday, one more artificial intelligence options or new features in 365. You can simply right click, there is a search option also will be there. And there also you can type validation. So automatic that data validation option will be on. So what we do generally by going to data validation, the same thing only, nothing else. Now when you click it, it will take you to a dialog box, something like this, right? And what it is demanding, settings tab, and it is showing validation criteria, allow any value. So go for the drop down and choose list out of this list. Because we have our ready-made list, you can go for list out of this. And then what it demands me that where is the source data for creating that list? So the source data is over here, these employee IDs. And now click OK and see the beauty. A drop down will be populated and there I can choose any of the employee ID. If I'm looking for the details, I can go for employee ID 004 and this is ready. So this is how people you can connect your entire nested formula to a drop down cell and making it more dynamic and you can save your time and the errors definitely will be minimized. So I believe scenario one, whatever we discussed, it's clear. Any doubt, any queries? All right. So everybody's clear, whatever we discussed. All right. Now, okay. Okay, JP, you can share your screen. Let's see what is the problem.
Data validation.
Mhm. Well, Sunita, would you mind helping JP in this?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe you just need to click on OK.
Yeah, but it's not popping up.
Uh, Can you please go back to data validation?
Yeah,
Allow-
list source. Should I apply these changes to other cells?
No, 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 not necessary.
No, it's correct only. Prabhas, this is correct only, like the steps which you had asked.
No, no, he's not getting. Why?
Something I have to
No, no, no,
quickly.
no, 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 no.
I think he has not input formula in the other cells, other cells.
That is not
That
that is nothing to do with the formulas. Nothing to do with the formulas. Okay, you just click OK. You just click OK,
Mm,
and then go to the name column. Name below to name. Keep your cursor. Uh, there's a formula, Sunita, already.
okay. I have no idea because the steps which
Yes,
he mentioned to get the drop down is the correct one,
right.
I
Absolutely.
believe.
So this is also a kind of case studies for you people. It's a good scenario. Sometimes you may come across this kind of situations where you try hard, but the drop down list is not coming up. Fine. Now just save the file, JP.
Yeah.
and close
Version.
this. I'll tell you, not versions.
I need to close this.
Yeah, close this and reopen.
Yeah.
Now go to that cell again. Go to the data. Data validation. Go for clear all. Clear all. In the bottom left, clear all, one option is there. Yeah. Right. Click OK. Now you just work with that data validation. Data validation.
Mhm.
Yes. Allow any value. Yeah. Insert list. Yes. And choose that source data.
Apply.
Yeah. Click OK. Still not. Okay. Open a new workbook. Open a new workbook. Control N.
Control.
N for new.
Okay.
Right. Now there you go for data validation. Data validation. Okay. Allow list. Yeah. Take source. No. See the
It's coming.
validation saying it's coming. So only thing is we do not have the list. That's why it's not appearing. So why you are facing it? When you open a new workbook, you are getting, but in the
Correct.
same existing workbook, you are not getting. So this is again the format incompatibility issue.
Okay.
Technically, you will not be finding the same, but yes, some cases you may find if you download the data from SAP and that Excel file itself, if you start working, you may come across this kind of scenario. So what you need to do now, you got to know, is you need to copy the entire data from that Excel file, which is downloaded from SAP, and
Uh-huh.
in a new file, you paste it, and everything will be sorted. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what the learning again for all. It's not about JP, it's for all. You may come across this kind of scenario. So don't be panic. Only thing is you have to copy into a new file and paste it.
Done.
All right. So let me take the control back on the screen over here. And now let's go and focus with the scenario two. So same master data we are going to consider in the left. And now we are looking for the details of ID 003. Same name, department, position, salary only. So what we can do, as I told you, if the data is remaining in the same sequence, we can go for VLOOKUP with column combination, and this is what we learned, right? So I will take you through this, just watch my screen. If I'm committing any mistake, do let me know. So taking the lookup value, we need to lock it with the column. Reason we know, because the data should move down but should not move right. So table array, complete data, I can take it. This should not move right or move left anything or move down. Then F4 once. Column index number, since the data I'm looking in the same sequence or same series what I have, I should go for the column formula. And the moment I go for this column formula, comma, what kind of match we are following? Going for zero, exact match. Formula is ready, only with one cell. Need to apply for rest. Control, enter, and our problem starts. So why it is not fetching the value? Everything is fine. Formula is absolutely correct. So think about it. Any mistakes in the formula? Anybody? Yes, Venkat. What's the problem with the column, you believe? Okay. So here the answer is there in the error itself. See, earlier we used to get an error called hash NA because of data absence. Did you get that? Since we did not had our employee ID, we were ending up with the answer called hash NA. And we have rectified the same with if error. That is called formula driven errors, how to handle with. Now here also one type of error is come hash reference. It means not because of data absence. Data is there, but it is unable to refer to the desired column to fetch our information. So why it is unable to refer to the desired column? What's the problem with the formula? Take a look. I told you column formula, what it gives, column number always answer, right? So now name column, name is in which column? Name is in H column. H, what is the number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So column formula will return the answer as 8. Just see? Yes. But in our master data, name is in which column? Name is in second column. So I am not looking for 8, I am looking for 2. So basic mathematics, what we can do is minus 6. So formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for others. Control enter. So this is how what we have understood. Whenever you want to apply VLOOKUP between two different Excel files or two different Excel sheets, though the data sequence remains the same, but slightly you need to adjust the column index number. Okay, so this is how people we got one more understanding over there while working with our template summary report, how to use this. Give it a try and check all these things are working. Concept is clear. Any doubt, feel free to ask. Do let me know if anybody is not getting the answer or you're getting a different answer, something or any error. Okay, so Ashish and others has confirmed. How about others? All right. Now let's go for our scenario three. Again, let's go and learn a very beautiful concept which will be very, very essential and very powerful also. So what is that exactly? First, let's try to understand the situation. See, we have a master data, same data as usual, but now we are not looking for exactly the same in the same fashion. We are looking for details of ID 005, but first we are looking for department, then salary, then name, then position. Correct? Now, if I'm looking for my master data, there are 5 columns. Now, department, in which column? Department is in third column. And salary is 5, name is second, position is 4. So if I'm looking for VLOOKUP formula, my column index number has to be like this. Do you all agree? Right. Now, first thing. 3524. Is it a sequence? Is it a series? 3524. So it's not a series. So the first thing what we were looking at, VLOOKUP with column is ruled out, because VLOOKUP is column will going to help us if at all the data is in the same sequence or same series. So here that is not happening. Okay. Rule number two, if I work on this, do you believe that I can go and do the cut paste work? In place of department, I should bring the name over here. Then in place of salary, I should go for over here department. Like that, I can adjust the columns over here in this format by doing cut paste work and bringing our entire numbers into series. And then we can go for apply over there called VLOOKUP with our column. Is that okay? Do you believe that we can do that? Yes, we can do that. Cut paste is not a big task. We can do it. But do you think that it's an idle option? Here we have only 4 columns. I can do the cut paste. Think about your real-time data. When you download, there might be 80 to 90 fields. Out of that, suppose say 35 fields you need to shuffle or you need to jumble. So in that case, think about it. Very difficult, isn't it? So that option is also ruled out. Though we have, but that is not going to work for us. So now, third option. Do you believe that VLOOKUP has the power to get the column index number dynamic automatically in such a way? No. If that is the case, if VLOOKUP has that, then why we are struggling in the first case itself? Why we are ending up with a lengthy formula like this? So technically, we have nothing over here to answer this question. So how to deal with the same? Just go for it. So before proceeding further with this, people, let me take you through some more powerful functions which we have to add it in VLOOKUP formula and to get this done. So what is that? Let's go and explore. Start working with me. Leave 3 to 4 right row items over here towards down and go for simply Jan. And then drag it down till December. All right. Now, once we have got this ready, just stay focused on my screen for a minute. In this highlighted block, if you look at and if I ask how many variables we have, you will be answering 12, because Jan to December we know there are 12 variables. Now, if I ask you, please find out the location of May. So what will be your answer? Out of 12 variables, where is May month? No, Sunita, I'm not asking about Excel column or row help and all. I just said like Nagras how he explained. Out of these 12 cells, if I look at my May month in the fifth location, how do you come to know? Because we started counting Jan as 1, Feb as 2, March as 3 like that. The moment we reach to May, it gives me the answer number 5, correct? Same thing if I happen to do it in Excel. So what Excel is going to do, let me take you through. Excel is going to take the help of a formula naming called match. Now what this match formula does, it asks for lookup value. So I take lookup value, like VLOOKUP also for lookup value, HLOOKUP is also asking for lookup value over here. Now here match is also asking lookup value. So what is lookup value? We got a clarity. Now comma. What is the next one? Formula is demanding, is asking for lookup array. What VLOOKUP was asking? Anybody? VLOOKUP formula, second input, what it was? Table array. Table array. HLOOKUP, what it was asking? That's also table array, right? But match what it is asking? Lookup array. So this is what we need to understand. And this is the place where people commits a mistake. So remember one thing, friends, the moment you work with any formula and that demands your array or table array is nothing but is the combination of rows and columns. Combination of rows and columns. If it is asking table array or array, but our formula is asking for lookup array. So lookup array is nothing but a complete row or complete column. It cannot be both. So our data, if you look at how it is, it's in a column. So I can select like this. Now, what it demands me, we look up. How it was end up with exact match. And what we defined, zero. So here also it is asking match type. So we can go for exact match and that's for zero. So bracket close. And the moment we hit enter, can you see it gives the same result over here, right? So now what it does, I'll tell you. Match formula takes a cell value as an input and finds out the cell location or cell number as the output. Now, if I go and change May to September, what will be my answer? If I go and change May to September, what will be my answer? Is it going to be 9? Yes. If I go for December, is it going to be 12? Yes. If I go for Feb, is it going to be 2? Yes. Finally, if I want to go for over here, May, this is going to give me the answer 5. So this is nothing but our match formula people over there. So match formula, what it does, taking the cell value as an input, finds out the cell location or cell position as the answer. So give it a try and check this match formula is working for you. Any doubt, any queries in the match formula? You get error, Venkat? Okay. Just share the screen, please, Venkat. Let us see. Yes, go to the formula cell. Yeah. Can somebody identify where is the problem? Yes, Ashish, Sunita, Nagraj, JP, anybody?
Zero is not required in the last.
And instead of semicolon, we have to use comma.
Spelling of May is incorrect in the lookup array.
Yeah, thanks. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So you got the answer, Venkat, where the mistake was.
Yes.
Okay. Now, here, just try to understand one concept. Match formula gives a answer always a number, right? If I go on May to change something, September, it gives a number only. If I go for December, it gives a number only, right? So may what we have changed to automatically it is giving the number over here. So match formula always gives the answer a number. Simple layman understanding, no need to have any extraordinary thought process. Now, if you remember, just 10 minutes back, we discussed something, column formula. So column formula also returns the answer a number, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5. This is was also being written by column formula only. So right now, just have a simple understanding. Column formula can be used only if your data is in sequence. Only if your data is in sequence. Okay. Match formula can be used when the data is not in sequence. A simple understanding, can we make it?
Yes.
Right. Now, having said this, let's go and apply the formula. We can select everything, the solution array. We can go for a formula equal to VLOOKUP. Taking the lookup value, and I told you, make it as column constant. Don't go for row constant or cell constant. Comma, table array. Where is the master data? Master data is over here, the complete data set. So this should not move down or move right. Taken. Now it is asking me column index number. And what is supposed to be? It is 3, 5, 2, 4, as we discussed already. And since it is not in a sequence, we can go for our match formula. So let's give your entire focus to match. Forget there is a formula called VLOOKUP over here. Give your entire focus to match. What it demands me, lookup value. So now you tell me what would be my lookup value. Whatever you feel, no problem. Match is looking for lookup value. Okay, Ashish and Nagra, they are saying department. Anybody is having a different answer? What is our lookup value? Lookup value is employee ID,
Employee
right?
ID. Correct.
That is not supposed to be our lookup value, but that is already given to our VLOOKUP formula. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
So technically we have nothing because same value I cannot give it twice, right? So lookup value is already given to our VLOOKUP. Now technically we have nothing, but we have something. What is that? Can we take this department column header as a lookup value? Can we search in our master data as a lookup array in the first row item? What's say? Can we go and take department and search in this array? That can
Yes.
be done. So that is what we are going to do now. So since we do not have any other further lookup value, we have to take the department, comma, now lookup array. Lookup array is in the first row item. So I told you lookup array, what does it mean? A complete column or complete row. Since our headers are there in arranged in a particular row item, I need to take that entire row. And now this array should not move down or move right. So we need to lock it by hitting F4. Now, what kind of match it is asking? As we discussed, we should go for 0 for exact match or one-to-one match. Now, this match function is going to return me a number. What kind of number? Just see. Department I have taken in this array. How many cells are there? I have got 5 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, department in which cell it is available? Is it third? Yes. So match formula is going to give me as number answer over here 3. Now, is it the same number we were expecting earlier the moment we started our discussion? Is it the same number we were expecting? So this department automatically set it across by the number with the match formula, right? Now let's go and just do the test over here. If I go for match formula to see, is it returning the answer as number 3? Yes, I got the answer. Now, Match formula is giving me the number, no doubt about it. But we are not writing match formula alone over here. We are writing inside VLOOKUP, right? So VLOOKUP, how it ends up with? This also ends up with 0. So go for comma and 0. Put bracket close. Formula is ready. Only for a cell, need to apply for rest. We know, control enter. And our problem starts. Now take a look where and how it has gone wrong. So you may come across this kind of scenario also, people. The formula will be absolutely correct, but you will not be getting the answer. So don't be panic, don't break your head much, don't bother yourself much. Just go back to your data set and check, is there any problem in my data? Could be the case, we never know. Because as I told you in day two itself, 90% cases we receive our data in uncleaned format. So definitely there might be a chance why we are getting an error, because my data may not be accurate. So if I look at my lookup value, the employee ID, how many characters it seems available? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if I go and check is equal to len formula, how many characters it is showing? 7. So it's a pretty simple message. There is a unwanted character. You can't be so judgmental by thinking that there is a unwanted space. It may or may not be a space, or maybe looking like a space but may not be a space, we never know. So one thing is for sure, the data is uncleaned, one extra unwanted character is available. So how to rectify this, or if at all it is a unwanted space, how to remove the same? See, there is a formula naming called over here trim. So trim formula, the basic job is to remove the unwanted spaces from the data. Though it is in the beginning or at the end, in the middle, it will remove it. So I'll go and check this over here. Now this data, whatever it is there, if I go and put in trim, it is going to be cleaned. Now if I check this formula again with the len, and is it giving me 6? Yes. So now I am confirmed there is a unwanted space over here. So len formula helps me calculating the number of characters available in a cell. Trim formula helps me in knowing over here that whether if at all any space is there, it will be cleaned automatically. So now having said this, the question is, you can ask me, Prabhas, do I need to do a separate data cleansing activity over here? No, this is just for the understanding. Now, when you come to know that your data is not accurate, what we can do is we can just select the entire solution array, all right? And then open the formula. Now, which element is uncleaned we discovered? Our employee ID. And what is the cell reference? $G11. So this data alone you can retain with trim. So we will be making our formula efficient enough in such a way. It will first clean that unwanted characters available in the cell. Then it will go for the rest of things like calculating the formula, functions, everything. So we are not going to do a separate data cleansing activity. So that's what the beauty of nested formula. And this is how people, the moment you go for VLOOKUP with match, it becomes very, very powerful. So formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control, enter, and see the beauty. Without the data cleansing activity, we can still apply the formulas over here. All right. So this will be very, very helpful in our routine activities. Whenever you happen to search something in the vertical, something in the horizontal, you can always take this kind of formula help people called VLOOKUP with match. Check it out. All these things are working. Any doubt, any queries, do let me know. Hope the concept is clear. Everybody's getting the feel on that. Anybody is facing any error or need my support, do let me know. Or not getting the answer. Okay. All right then. So now this is how we have understood people, various scenarios over here, like how to use VLOOKUP with column combinations, how to use VLOOKUP column with if error, and how to connect the same to a drop down and make it more dynamic over here whenever there is a need, we can make it. And if you're applying VLOOKUP with column in two different sheets or two different files, slightly you need to adjust the column index number in this format. And whenever you are looking for some specific columns of data out of a huge volume of data set, how to use this VLOOKUP with match function, or you are looking for something in vertical and something in horizontal as well, you can use VLOOKUP with match function. All right. And trim and len function, this is just doing their job. Trim is to replace all, remove all the unwanted spaces from the data, and len formula always calculates the number of characters available in a cell. All right. Now let's go for our next sheet, naming called nested if. Or do you, just I would like to take your call. If you are interested, do you like to use this concept somewhere else? Would you like to go for some other examples to go for a practice right now immediately? Just I would like to take your call. If you are willing to practice just by taking 5 minutes of time, I'll be giving you one more scenario. Are you interested? Okay. See, just towards your right side of your working sheets, there is a practice 2 and practice 3. Two worksheets are there. Practice 2 and practice 3. Two worksheets are there. Okay. So this one you can practice at the your end, the practice 3 one. Go to practice 2. So right now let's have a discussion. Suppose say I am looking at my revenue abstract. These are the products, and this is what the revenue I have made in different dates. So it's a complete 10 days abstract of our revenue data with regard to the products we have over here. Now this is for the whole organization. No doubt about it. Now I am looking for some specific product and some specific dates. What is the revenue I need to populate? Like if I'm looking for custard powder, 23rd June. So custard powder over here. And if I go for 23rd June, how much it is? It should be 2151. Should appear over here. Okay. So kindly go for this. So once it is ready, do let me know, or you can share the screen and show the formula. No issues.
Okay, I'll share my screen.
Yes, Sunita, you're saying something?
I'll share my screen. I'm done.
Yeah, please, please, please. Okay, go and apply for this.
I have applied, so it is reflecting 215. So I didn't
No,
apply
no.
for a couple of columns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just apply for the other cells. No, no, go and don't just drag it down. Double click on that fill handle. Yes. Now go for opening the formula, keeping the cursor over there. One cell, go for F2 or function F2. Function F2 for your case. Yes. All right, people, just check it out. The same concept, something vertical, something horizontal we are looking. And again, we look up with column, how it, we look up with match, how it is bringing up the answer. So anything not clear, you can ask. Yeah. Yes, Srinda, you can copy and paste the formula in the chart box. So if at all anybody is not getting the answer and if the formula concept is not clear, feel free to ask again. So can I consider that everybody is clear with this practice to test whatever we did? Fine. So let's go to our next is called nested if. The sheet name. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the logical functions of our Microsoft Excel. So whenever you create any kind of template, this kind of formula again plays a very big role. So let's see the situations or scenarios and how to make use of these logical functions. Let's discuss that. Say, take an example. We have a score. We need to check if the person scores more than 50, results would be pass, else fail. So to define such kind of conditions, we should go for depending upon our if formula. So taking if this asks me logical test, the same we have done in our day one also, slightly I have shown you there. So now we're going to discuss in depth. So logical test, I will take the score where the cell contains the score. I will go for greater than and 50. So this entire setup becomes my logical test. Now, comma, what it demands me value if true. So if the test is true, what is the answer you're expecting? Result should be pass. So pass is of my own text. So I should go for within two double inverted quotes, comma, then value if false. So if the person is not pass, what is the ultimate answer? Fail. Again, fail is our own text. So we should define within two double inverted quotes. Now bracket close, formula is ready. This is giving me the answer. Now if I go and change the score, something less than 50, so 35, shows me fail. If I go for 68, shows me pass. What if I define 50? What should be the result? Should be pass, but it gives me fail.
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 Why? Why it is giving fail? Would you be so rude enough if suppose somebody just scored 50, would you be so rude enough to declare him fail? Definitely will not. Because we are human beings, we have the emotions. Excel doesn't have the emotions. So whatever the instructions you have given, Excel will obey just that. So here the instruction what we have given is only if it is greater than 50, result should be passed. So greater than 50 is not equal to 50, right? So we need to be very precise in giving our condition. If at all somebody scores 50 or greater than 50, then some result should be passed. So this kind of combination of our operator we should give it. So that makes our condition more specific, 50 or greater than 50, right? So this is how people we have understood how to write a simple logical formula of our Excel naming curve if. Hope it is clear. Any questions, any doubt? All right. Now I'll go to question number two. Kindly stay focused. There are two new joinees in my department, naming A and B. My boss has given me a task asking, Prabhas, why don't you conduct a assessment for them? So when I did the test, A has scored 50, B has scored 90. Now I'm just looking at the scores. My boss came immediately from the back and he passed a statement saying that Prabhas, score of A is greater than score of B. or A has scored more than B, something like that. He passed a statement. Now let's check that. Score of A, 50, is it greater than 90? No. So definitely whatever the statement my boss has passed, it's a false statement. Now if I just say immediately, sir, whatever the statement you are passing, it's a wrong statement, it will hurt my boss ego. Yes or no? Even the boss is not right, you should not say in front of him that you are not right. We are not supposed to say. We cannot take that risk, right? So now we want Excel to define the answer, whatever the statement my boss has passed, whether it is a true statement or it's a false statement, we need to define that. Okay, so how to bring it? Again, here our experts, they will suggest you go for immediately if and then score of A greater than score of B. This will become the logical test. Now, if this is true, statement will be true one. Yep. Now, if it is not true, ultimate answer, it's a false statement. So I can go for false over here. Now bracket close. And this is going to give me the result immediately. So sometimes when you need to check a statement status, you can go for, in fact, a if formula. So this is what our experts suggest us. I don't recommend this. And why I don't recommend this? Any idea? Any reason? Yes, people? You already know the answer. Why I don't recommend if formula over here? Do you remember in day one I told you something about the file space or file size? In any Excel file, the more the if formula, file size will be more. Do you remember? We have discussed or not?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So this is the same reason again for this situations also. I do not recommend if formula because this is going to occupy a lot of space. So now how to replace the same? Just see the beauty. We can go for a simple operator that will be acting like a if formula. So you can see a greater than symbol is there. This is going to act like a if formula. Can you see the same result? So this is how people, you tell me, being an audience, if you are looking at which one you prefer to see, option one or option two? Definitely option two. Who doesn't want a crisp formula? Everybody wants that. So this is how situation two we have understood. Wherever it is possible, try to just make a beautiful condition with a simple operator. Okay. Any doubt? Any queries?
Yeah.
Yes, Sunita, you have something?
No.
Your voice is not audible.
By mistake, I just unmuted.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Now let me take you through another scenario, people. Over here, let's focus. Suppose say I have got a score. Now what I need to do exactly is I need to check if the person scores less than 50, less than 25, results should be fail. If suppose he scores less than 25, results should be fail. If he scores more than 25 but less than 50, grade should be C. If he scores more than 50 but less than 75, grade should be B. If he scores more than 75, grade should be A. So this is how we need to check. Suppose say entire 1000 people scores we have, and we need to check and define the grading to that. So how will I do it over here? Now, if this is the situation, what we do exactly? Yes, any idea? In this case, how to get the answer? Now 79 is there. Just check the condition. What should be the answer? Yes, as I should have said, it should be grade A. But how to get that? So this is what most of the time it is our need people. Okay. And we have seen the same. What's the best option? Do not end up writing lengthy if statements over here. I told you the other day we have a better option. Go for VLOOKUP with approximate match. But for that, you need to create a matrix and the matrix must be sorted. Then you can go for VLOOKUP with approximate match. This is what the replacement for this, and the formula length will not be more, file size will not be heavy. But I told you, we look up with the approximate match when the data falls in a range. So definitely it will work only for the in case of numbers. But here, if I look at suppose say any point of time, I'm dealing with the text. Take an example, text. Then we look up with the approximate match, bit difficult. So there I have to go and write multiple if formulas. But how to write multiple if formulas in one cell? That we need to discuss. So here most of the people they struggle and with multiple trial and error different permutation combination only they get success. They never get one time success by writing the formula because they are not presenting the logics properly. So we are not going to commit that mistake. So how to start up with in this kind of problem? Take a look. First of all, make a count how many conditions are there. Yes, please count and tell me people, anybody.
4.
So 4 conditions are there. Okay. And we know one thing, whenever we need to design or write a conditions, we need to deal with a if formula. So 4 condition, 4 if formula. I'm just thinking like a layman. I'm not having any extraordinary thought process over here. Okay. Now I need to write 4 if formulas if I need to write in 4 different cells. But our objective is we need to write all these 4 conditions in one cell. So technically what you need to do is people, when you write multiple conditions in one cell, you need to first understand total number of condition 4 minus 1. So total 3 if formulas we must write. That is what our first step. And how to write? You need to follow a rule. So rule says that you need to have a order of your conditions, either smallest to largest or largest to smallest. That's called logical flow of the condition. So you can start from fail, end up with grade A, or you can start from grade A, end up with fail also. No issues. But how to write it? Let's start. Suppose say I start working with my first condition with smallest to largest, say fail. Taking the score less than 25 if it is true, formula is demanding. Value if true, what is that? Should be fail. Now this is clear. Can I take that? Everybody's clear what I designed over here.
Yes.
Now what is the next thing it is asking? Value if false. Now if the person is not fail, ultimate answer is pass. We know. But we cannot go and write within two double inverted quotes pass because our problem starts there. If the person is passed, which bucket it is going to fall or which grading system it is going to fall. So in that case, if I want to go for it, then what is the next condition I need to check? If the person is not fail, what's the next condition? Definitely should be more than 25, but less than 50. So that should be grade C. But to check the same, we need to write one more if formula. So without closing the first if formula, we need to start one more if because we need to keep the conditions in a loop. And now same score, yes, going for over here. What people commits a mistake, they go for greater than 25. So this is what not logically matching. It is giving a clash of the logic. So first logic you have given less than 25. Now again more than 25. So Excel is confused which one it should perform. So when you have started with less than 25 logic, you should go for again over here less than 50 logic. So that makes a condition more than 25 but less than 50. Now if this is true, what should be the grade? Grade C. Comma. What's the next one? Value if false. So now suppose say the person is not falling in C. So what's the next possible category? Grade B. So we should write one more if condition, taking the score less than 75, comma. If this is true, then what should be the grading? Obviously, grade B. Now, what is next it is asking? Value if false. Now take a look. Suppose the person is not fail, neither falling in category of grade C, nor falling in the category of grade B. If none of these conditions are true, what is the ultimate answer? Is grade A. So we don't need to write one more if condition over here. Simple write grade A within two double inverted quotes. Now just realize how many if formulas we have written. 1, 2, and 3. So as we discussed, 4 minus 1, 3 if formulas. But all the formulas open, ideally, what we should do? Going for close brackets. And the moment you hit enter, you got the answer. So this is how people, whenever there's a need, you can go and apply the multiple formulas, or that is called if formulas in one cell, and that becomes nested if formula. Give it a try. Any difficulties, to let me know. So once you design the condition, then keep changing the score and check different buckets or grading system appears. So in difficulties, anybody is not getting the answer or a different answer or error. All right, so Venkat and JP, what is the status? Ashish? Okay. So now, my question, are you happy with the solution? too lengthy. True. So I would say you are not happy. Can I take that, JP? Your answer?
Yeah, sir. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yes. Nagaraj, Sunita, Aishwarya, what's your opinion? Are you happy with this kind of formula answers? Right. So definitely no one would be happy looking at such kind of lengthy if formulas, but we have no other choice if it is there as a text, people. I told you, if it is a number, that's fine. We have a replacement. We look up with the approximate match we discussed, right? Now, if you ask me, Pravas, can we make something more even better, or can we precise the formula a bit, not taking this much of length? Okay, I'll tell you. See, 2019 onwards, you have got a beautiful formula called IFS. Check it out. Do you have a formula called IFS? IFS. Check. Confirm. Is it there? You must be having, since most of you are having 365. I guess bit doubtful for JP. He may not have.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Right. Right. All right. So those who are having 365 people, they can start working with me how to deal with this formula. See the beauty. And logical test one, I will take the score less than 25. If it is there, result should be on, then fail. Now see the beauty of this formula. It doesn't ask for any more time the false. It directly asks for logical test two. So I can take this score again and take no more if formula, just direct logic less than 50. If it is true, grade C. Now, if this is not true, logical test three, yes, I will check this again less than 75, grade B. Now, this is not asking again value if false, it is asking logical test 4. So, what is the fourth logic to be checked? This score, okay, here you have to precise greater than equal to 75, then it should be grade A. Now, how many conditions? Only one. So, only one close bracket. So this is what somewhat the file size will not be heavy, but yes, if you look at which one is easy to understand, option one or option two. So this is how people, you have always the solution. Only thing is you have to take a call. Which one would be the ideal solution? So ideal solution, how you will take a call? Which one should not make my file size heavy and my data processing also has to be faster. So nothing is good formula, nothing is bad formula, but this is how you have to take a call. All right. So again, working in 365, how we are blessed, we got the basic understanding. So when you work with the higher versions, you always have an edge, you will always have an upper hand. So any doubt, any queries in this ifs formula, people, anybody? Right. Now let us go for some more logical formulas of our Microsoft Excel, naming called and or. So this will be also very helpful in certain cases, people. So and or formula comes into picture whenever you check more than one conditions over there. So what and formula does, it just check if all the conditions are satisfied, then only the answer will be true. If at all the all conditions satisfied, the answer will become true. If any condition is not satisfied, answer will be false. This is what and formula. But all formula is just the opposite. If any formula or any conditions out of multiple formula, multiple conditions is true, any condition is true, answer will be true. This is what the OR formula. It will be more clear when you go for a simple logical calculation. Just see. Go for is equal to and type and then it demands me logical one. So we'll go for our second example, logic of A, the person. What is the score? 50 greater than 30. You just type as it is. We'll discuss that. Just type as it is. Comma. Then demand me logical 2. So score of B. less than 60. This is also we'll check. Now bracket close and hold on. Score of A 50, is it greater than 30? What's your answer? Yes, no? Score of A 50, is it greater than 30?
Yes.
Answer is yes. So in the formula language, technically it's true. Answer of score of B, is it less than 60? 90, is it less than 60?
Yes.
90 is less than 60.
Oh, sorry, no.
So technically answer is false. So one is yes, one is no, one is true, one is false. But and purpose, I told you, all the conditions are to be satisfied. It means all the conditions are to be true. Since one condition is not true, what will be the answer? Should be false. And we got that. So this is how people you have to use the AND function, and whenever you have got all the conditions are satisfied, AND will giving the answer true. If any condition is not satisfied, it will be giving the answer as false. So this is basically your AND formula. Check it out. Is it working? AND formula. Now let's go and check the OR formula. Same logic, but we are going to check with OR. So as I said to you that OR formula is just the opposite of our large form, I mean our AND formula, how it is. Just let's go and check. Score of A 50, is it greater than 30? Yes. So our formula was not going to check the further more conditions because the first condition itself, since it is satisfied and it has become true, the ultimate answer will be true. The same. So this is what basically your OR formula, people. So what is OR formula? What is AND formula? I believe that's clear. Any difficulties in understanding, do let me know. Yes, Venkat, definitely. Would love to share that. I was waiting for your someone should ask me. So let's go for the sheet name called practice. Towards right side, go for this. Okay. Now take a look over here. Go towards your data set number 2. We have some employee related database. Okay. Now we want to calculate whether my employees are eligible for bonus or not. So just stay focused. What is the ask? What is the problem statement? We need to check if the person over here, suppose say Abdul Salam Ismail, we need to check his rating first. If it is 1 to 3 and division is CDFD and the salary is less than 50,000, then he is eligible for bonus. If these conditions are not true, then no bonus. So we need to give the answer as bonus and no bonus. Okay. So now over here, how to define that? So first of all, I need to check all these three columns conditions. Okay. So how will I check that? I'll go for simple and. Why and? Why not or? Because all the conditions are mandatory. There is no optional conditions over here. Conditions are mandatory. So means this is satisfied if this is satisfied and if this is satisfied. So all these condition, three conditions, if it is satisfied, then only he will be eligible for bonus. So all the conditions are mandatory. So when conditions are mandatory, you should go for and formula. And what it says, rating. If it is 1 to 3 means less than equal to 3. Then logical 2, division should be CDFD. So I can go for writing CDFD. Then logical 3, salary should be less than 50,000. Now just watch my screen over here. Rating, is it 1 to 3? Yes, means answer is true. Division, CDFD? No, answer is false. So I no need to go and check even though it is a satisfied answer or if it is in the condition. Still, since one of my condition is not satisfied, the person is not eligible for bonus. Pretty clear. But when I go and hit enter, my and formula, it gives the answer as false because and or always gives the answer either true or false only. But what I am expecting, the answer should be bonus or no bonus. So for this, what I can do, I can write the simple same formula, logical formula over here, no doubt. Before and, I will keep one if formula. So this entire and statement becomes the logical test of my if formula. Now the question is why I need to take the if formula? Because I want my own text. Bonus and no bonus, these are my text. So I am not happy with true or false answer. I am looking for true if it is bonus, false if it is no bonus. For that reason, we are going for the if formula. Now this enter and statement becomes a logical test for if formula. Now over here, the moment you go for at the end over there and then keep your cursor, then what it demands me? Value if true. So if this and statement returns the answer as true, we are expecting answer should be bonus. If it is false, then should be no bonus. Pretty simple. And bracket close, enter. So got it? So this is how the moment when you want to go and check multiple conditions and if all the conditions are satisfied, then only you should take a call. Then you should go for AND formula because AND formula, it always demands that all the conditions are to be satisfied. So hope you got a best example. Can you connect with that? See, all are real-time case studies. So anything is missing, not clear, feel free to ask. So anybody is not getting the answer, if it's not clear, feel free to ask people. Anybody? So taking the live scenarios, the logics we need to practice. I told you already, one time it's not enough, but one time you have to make your logics clear.
Tapas, could you please check this one?
Yeah, share your screen.
Yes. Do you see my screen now?
No, not yet. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you have given and formula taken,
Okay. Uh, so
the question
name.
is less than 50, less than 50K. If you're going for B9, the salary, it should be less than 50,000. You're taking greater than 50,000, first of all.
Okay.
The second condition, C9 should be CDFD. CDFD is your own text. You must define within two double inverted quotes. Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So I'm taking the control back on the screen. So I believe we got the basic understanding of our logical formulas, how to apply this, and nested if formula, how to write it, and the same how to replace with our ifs condition if you are working with the higher versions of Microsoft Excel, how to make use of that. That also we have seen, right? Now we'll go to our next sheet, naming called sum and count, but we'll go and discuss the same after a short break. So in my system now it is going to be 4 o'clock. Dot 4:10 p.m. we are going to resume our session as per Indian Standard Time. And please come back, have a brisk and come back soon. We'll discuss the rest. So I'll be mute. I'll be back at dot 4:10. All right then, so let's go for our sheet called sum and count. So here we are going to discuss some aggregate functions again, which will be helping us in creating the templates or designing the dashboards, summary reports or tabular reports. So let's have what is the data we have first. So technically we have got employee related database again. So date of training of the employees, the name of the employees over here, division they belong to, salary they draw, and the training expenses incurred upon them, the entire complete details over here. Okay. Now taking all these 5 columns into reference, we need to answer all these 6 questions. So if you start working with the first one, what it demands, just watch. It is saying count occurrence of division HFD. So which column you have to deal with? Division column. What you need to do, HFD, how many times it is appearing, we need to make a count. So whenever you want to make a criteria based counting over there in Excel, we have a ready-made formula naming called count if. Count if. So this is nothing but the combination of again count and if formula, count if. What it demands me, range. What is the range? Which range we have to operate in the division column? Now, what is asking criteria? What's my criteria? Criteria is HFD. How to define that? Within 2 double inverted quotes. And once this is done, the formula is going to give you the result 28. So this is how, whenever there is a criteria based counting to be done, how to do, we got the basic understanding. So kindly confirm the same result you have received with count if 28. Any difficulties, do let me know. All right. Now the next question. What it says, count salary less than 1,50,000 US dollar means in salary column we have to deal, and wherever it is less than 1,50,000 cases are there, those cases only we have to make a count. So again, criteria based counting. So we can go for the formula count if. What it demands me, range. So which range we have to focus now is the salary range. Now there, what it is asking, criteria. What's our criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So here people sometimes commit a mistake. So whenever you have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to, such kind of conditions are there, you must define everything within 2 double inverted quotes. So less than 1,50,000, you have to define within 2 double inverted quotes. And the moment you hit enter, this is going to give you the result 51. So again, criteria based counting, we got the answer over here. Is it the same 51 you are getting, or somebody's getting a different number? Well, so I got 2 answers from Nagaraj and Shreya. How about others? Mhm. Okay. JP, what is the status, please?
I got 91, sir.
What's the condition you have given? Just spell it out. Is equal to count if D4 to D94, comma, within 2
Less
less
than
than.
1. All right, the count is 150. Yes,
Now is
50.
it working?
Yes.
Fine. So let's go for our question number 3. Sum salary for division RAD. So first we need to work with our division column. Wherever RAD is there, we need to identify. Then corresponding salary, we have to make a total. So basically criteria based sum to be done. And then in that case, we have a ready-made formula naming called sum if. So when you go for sum if formula, what it demands me is the range. So which range will be operating is the division column. Yes. Now what it is saying? Criteria. So what's your criteria? Is RAD. Within two double inverted quotes, we can type RAD. Then sum range. Which range you will be applying the sum formula in the salary column? So we can take salary completely, and the moment we hit enter, did you receive the result of 90,64,787? So this is nothing but again criteria based sum. How to do? We got the basic understanding. So question number three, I believe how to write your summary formula. You got the basic understanding, people. Fine. Now let's go for question number four. What it demands? Some salary above 2 lakh US dollar. So in salary column, we have to focus, and wherever it is more than 2 lakh cases are there, how much is the total salary? We need to find it out. All right. So again, criteria based sum to be done. So we can go for a formula sum if this demands me the range. So range is the salary. Then it says me criteria. So criteria is above 2 lakhs. And I told you how to write above or less something. So about 2 lakhs cases, we need to write something like this. Now, what is the next one? Is the sum range. So we can write comma and define the sum range. Which is the sum range? Again, the salary only. So since sum range and our range is the same range, we don't need to go and extend our formula by defining the sum range one more time. So simple logic what we can apply, we can complete our formula with this and we can get our result. 1 crore 32 lakh 63,214. So this is how again people, wherever it is possible, try to keep your formula length minimum. That also we did the understanding. Fine. So now let's go for our question number four. Some salary more than 50,000 US dollar, but less than 1,50,000. We have to compute. Means Salary column, we need to check first more than 50,000 cases and below 1,50,000 cases. Those cases alone, we have to make a total of salary. So again, here what is happening? We have got criteria based sum, but here the criteria is more than one. So whenever you have more than one criteria based sum to be done, sum if is not going to help us. We need to deal with another formula naming called sum ifs. Very powerful but bit peculiar also. So please stay focused first 1 minute on my screen, how to write this formula, and then I'll be giving time for you to try with. Sum range. So which range will be applying the sum formula is the salary. Then criteria range 1. What should be my criteria range 1 over here? Yes, people, anybody?
More than
More than
50,000.
50,000.
More than 20, 50,000. Okay, very good. So now if I complete that, then after that, what it is asking formula?
Less than 1,50,000.
No, no, no. If you say me in criteria range 1, more than 50,000 I give it, then after that, what formula is demanding? Criteria 1, right? So what I'm supposed to define? So this is where people commit the mistake. As I told you, this is a very powerful formula, but bit peculiar. So you need to understand more than 50,000 is our criteria, but where to search it is demanding. So criteria range 1, range means more than one cell definitely, right? So the first criteria, whatever it is, more than 50,000 cases, where to search? In the same salary only? Do you agree?
Yes.
So this is what we have to give it. So taking your entire salary again. Now, this is asking me criteria 1. So as per the question, what is your first condition? More than 50,000. So within two double inverted quotes, more than 50,000, you should write it, comma. This is asking criteria range 2. So as per the question, what is the second criteria? Less than 1,50,000 US dollar. So less than 1,50,000 US dollar. Again, where to search?
Salary. Thank you.
Again, salary, go for it. So when you go for and define the salary 1, that becomes your criteria range 2. Now it is asking criteria 2. So as per the question, what is the second condition? Less than 1 lakh
Yes.
50. So we'll go for less than 1 lakh 50 and we should define like this. So this is how whenever you have more than one criteria based sum to be done, you can go for a formula sum ifs. And the moment you hit enter, this is going to give you the answer 21 lakhs 99,323. Check. Are you getting the same? This formula will be very, very helpful, people. Not only with one particular scenario like this, you can take whenever I told you, like to design a dashboard, summary report, tabular report, template, you can keep all this formula ready. And whenever you have your data sheet populated with the data, the output will be automatically coming up. So you know now count if, you know now sum if, sum ifs, all these things, right? So please find the answer for question number 6. Please start. You have got 2 minutes time. Right, people? Any answer for question number 6? Anybody? Okay. First of all, how much is supposed to be the answer? How will I know that? Forget about the formula and function. If this is the question, if I need to check, I have got the ready-made data with me. How will I know what should be the answer? Now we are in day 4, so you must be having some ideas. Yes, anybody can unmute and speak, no problem. Is there any way I can do that? Simple. As Nagra said, what we can do? We can go for a filter. Okay. Date filter, I will go for it. There I'll go for between, right? What's the first data is about 1st August 2019. So I'll go for 1st August 2019. Then what is the next one? 31st Jan 2020. So automatically the moment I click OK, whatever the value I have got it, this is what I will be selecting and this is what the total I will be getting. So how much is the value? It is of 84 to 84. So the answer should be 84,000 to 84. So we now know got the answer. Those who have got 84 to 84 means you are in the right track. See how to validate all these things. So when you do the auditings and all, this is called auditing techniques, nothing else. All right. So how to get that? Answer we got 84,000 to 84. Fine. So let me design it for you. You can cross check where you are committing the mistakes. Okay. Again, some ifs because multiple criteria based some range is the training expenses. Fine. Then it is asking over here criteria range 1. So what is my criteria range 1? My first criteria is 1st August 2019. So it is a date. So I need to check in the date column, right? Now it is asking criteria 1. So when there is a date related criteria, you need to give a conditions to our Excel in precisely in this way, rather than equal to 1st August 2019. So a proper date format, the way you write DDMMYY or MMDDYY, you have to define that. Now, criteria range 2, again the same date. So I can go for same date over here. Now criteria 2, what is that? We have to precisely give it within less than equal to 31st Jan 2020. So here the logic is whatever the training program happened on 1st August, we cannot ignore. And whatever it happened in 31st Jan, also we cannot ignore. The start date and end date both has to be included in our calculation. And the moment I go for this, did you see? We got the result. So this is how people, whenever there is a date related criteria you have to deal with, you have to be very precise like this and check where the mistake happened and rectify this. Anything not clear? We're not getting the answer. Do let me know, please, people. So how about this formula? Looks interesting? Yes or no? In daily routine work, we deal with this kind of calculations the most. Though you're in accounts, finance, production planning, HR, or logistics, wherever you need this most, right? And as I told you, where you can use this, the template, summary report, or tabular report, or dashboards, anywhere you can make use of these formulas. Fine. So save all your workbooks, people, and close it. Now go to our sample case studies folder. There is a file called chart tech. So we are going to discuss now the graphical presentations of data, or how to present our boring numbers in a beautiful storytelling format so that people would be happy watching the same, and how to take the right call on the data sheets, and what type of chart I should use for my data, how to take a call about that. We'll be also discussing on this. Fine. So let's start working with it. Open that file, please. So when you go for this, you'll be lining up with our cover page. You can go for next button and you'll be having the quick chart sheet over here. So here you could see we have got some products and how much revenue we have made. We got the entire details. Now looking at the same, my boss asked me, Prabhas, why don't you plot the data in a graphical format? So select your data, keeping the cursor anywhere, Control A, and go for Alt F1, a simple keyboard shortcut. Alt F1 will be helping you to plot a graph. Check it out. Alt F1, is it giving a graph to you? Fine. So now, yeah, you can select, Aishwarya, you can select your data, Control A, and then Alt F1, the keyboard shortcut, press together. If F1 is not your direct key, go with function Alt F1. So if Alt F1 is not working for you, Alt F1 is not working, function Alt F1, you have to go and check, definitely it will work. So did you receive a chart like this, all of you? So pretty simple. Now, the moment I saw this, my boss is not quite happy. And immediately he asked me, Prabhas, this chart is not looking so great. Why don't you make some chart a bigger one, bit of neat and clean, presentable. And when I'm going to present it to the audience, the entire audience focus has to be there on the chart. There should not be any data or people should get diluted with. So if that is the case, then how to deal with? Simple. Select all your data. Okay, on your keyboard, simply press F11, the last, before the last function key, F11. Immediately, it will be taking you through a beautiful sheet over there having the charts naming called chart 1. So there are two keyboard shortcuts we learn, Alt F1 to place the chart in the same worksheet, F11 to create an exclusive chart sheet over here in Excel. All right. So Alt F1 and F11, is it working for all? Now, come back to your quick chart sheet. Chart is there. Now let's see over here how to make this chart presentation better. If you remember in our day 3, I told you when we discussed about the pivot chart and all, what is the first thing we should do whenever we have a chart in place, people? Anybody? Can you recall what is the first thing we need to do? I told you.
Arrange the data largest to.
No, no, no. When you have the chart in place, first you go to chart design or design tab and take the last tile. Did you remember? And why the last one? I told you it will be giving you some kind of glossy impact, some kind of shadow impact, or some kind of embossing effect. And that's what you can see immediately. Then what was the next step? Inside the chart, there is unwanted grid lines, which is not making my chart presentation look good over here. So you can go for plus symbol in the chart. You can see towards the right or left, depending upon the space. And there, when you click, a grid lines option will be there that you have to deactivate. So these are the minimum two things as a minimum formattings you must do over here. All right. Now the chart somewhat looks better, but when I presented this, my boss is saying, Pravas, this entire products are looking identical. Why don't you differentiate the products with some different colors? So how to add multicolors over here? Just see. Take your mouse pointer to any of the chart column inside the chart area. Right click on that. You got an option called Format Data Series in the bottom. And there, a dialog box appears. You could see the first icon is Deal With or Fill. And then when you click the Fill button, inside Fill is available. And if you go to Fill, there is an option called Vary Colors by Point. Vary Colors by Point. The checkbox is not activated. You can activate this. Now, can you see with an immediate effect, the multicolor chart will be ready instantly on the screen. So somewhat looks better compared to the previous one.
Yes.
Right. Now, once I made it, though the chart looks good, people, okay, but this is not an ideal version of our chart because this is an outdated version of our chart. Nowadays, nobody prefers to see this kind of charts. So now the question is how to bring the latest style of our chart presentation. So first thing, whenever you are presenting the chart, people try to make it informative by adding the data labels. So taking your mouse pointer to any of the column and right click on that, you will be getting an option called add data labels. Then each and every product wise, whatever the respective revenue will be populated in the top. You can select one, all the data labels should be in selection. And then just increase the font size a bit, 1 or 2 points, so that people can read it properly. Don't make it extraordinarily large, but ensure that whatever the font size you are keeping, people can read in that format. And how to increase the font size? You can go for a simple keyboard shortcut, Control, Shift, and greater than symbol to increase the font size. This will be helpful for your Microsoft PowerPoint, Word, Outlook, and all also to increase the font size. Check it out. Similarly, just reverse logic to decrease the font size. Now, the latest style of our data presentations people, it says, if you are maintaining the data labels, there is no point of having access scale. If you are maintaining access scale, there is no point of having data labels. So as an audience, if you look at which one is giving an instant information, the data labels or access scales, obviously the data labels only. So what we should do the treatment with the access scale, simply select and press the delete button. Right now, having the chart title in the center, those days have gone when people used to happy once upon a time. But nowadays, if you see any presentations of the Big Four, Bain and Company, McKinsey and Co., and the Boston Consulting Group, or if you are reading the Economic Times newspaper, or if you are visiting to the money control site, you'll be finding the chart title having in the right side of the chart area. Okay, so this is our latest style of data presentation. Now, so when you present it in this format, again, people will not be happy. As I have been telling you in day one, since day one, I was telling you, nowadays the audience is having a different level of expectation. What's that? That when you present your data, just ensure that your data is speaking a beautiful story to the people. So, how to present our data in a beautiful storytelling format? Select your data over here and go for data sorting. What is the shortcut for data sorting? Anybody? In day two, we discussed. Yes, Alt D S. Very good. D for data, S for sorting. And go for that sorting dialog box. Sales in USD. The sort by column and order choose largest to smallest. And when you go for this and click OK, can you see a beautiful story turns up? Like from our cocoa powder, we got the maximum revenue, and from custard powder, we got the least revenue. So anybody, even if 11 is also sitting, he can make out what I am presenting over here. So this is how people we have understood from any sort of data. If you want to prepare a chart, how to do the minimum formatting and how to bring the colorful presentations, then how to present it more effective by adding more information over there and bringing the latest style, and finally presenting in a beautiful storytelling format. If at all any questions from anybody, do let me know. Is it clear? So are you happy with your presentation? Okay. All right, fine. So now suppose say this is what you have presented in Excel. Okay. Now take a look on my screen. No need to do anything. Now my boss asked me, Prabhas, why don't you bring this to PowerPoint? I can simply take it, copy. I can go to my PowerPoint and there I can go for pasting the same. Okay. Now when I paste it, if I want to retain the Excel format, I can do that, not a problem. But the problem is when I'm presenting this to the people, just say, if I go and present it something to the audience, okay, what will be happening when you try to speak something about this presentation? Nobody is going to listen to you. So do not ever show your entire information at all once to the audience. So entire information, don't show it at once. So how to control this? So what you can do, people, just say, you can select your chart, going to the animation pane, add animation, more entrance effect, dissolve in. And when you click OK, the animation will appear in the right side, and then go for effect as options by element in series. Now see the beauty. So when you try to present it to the audience on first click over here, the first product appears. So you can speak about the products and people have no other choice except listening to you. So if you want to speak about the product, like whether it is my signature product or flagship product, or we do not have the competitors in the market, we have complete monopoly, and this is the reason why we are making maximum revenue out of this, anything, whatever you want to speak about this product, you can speak. Then you can move to the next. So like that, on each and every click of button, things will appear. So this is how people, how to manage your charts in PowerPoint. We got the basic understanding as well. All right. So again, I'm asking, are you happy with your presentation? Very good. You might be happy people, but your audience will not be happy. Reason, we did a lot of things, but where the thing we have done the mistake is this. We have too much of text, and the text is in slanting order. So we are forcing to our audience to bend their head by another 30-degree or 45-degree to read all this kind of stats over there. So this is the place where it has gone wrong. So now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, my products are a bit lengthy. What can be done for that? This is the only way I have to present it. Well, I would say when you are having the equal amount of importance on the text part, then the problem what you did is, the mistake what we did is, this is not the right format of chart. So when you have too much of text, what should be the format? Let's go and discuss. Select this chart, whatever we have prepared, go for Control D to make a duplicate, Control D. Now the duplicate one for your reference, keep it in the bottom and go for the original one, right click upon that. And when you go for right click upon the chart area, you will be having an option called over here, change chart type. And there you click and go for the category called bar. So when you go for the bar category and click OK with immediate effect, you can see a beautiful chart turns up. So now you can emphasize upon this, the text part, whatever you have over here, people are not going to struggle. And now if you look at this both, which one is giving the better view? Option one or option two? So this is how people right selection of the chart on the data is also very, very essential, right? So I believe everybody is getting that feel. Now, what to say? Are you happy? Yes, Sunita, JP, Ashish, Venkat, Nagesh, sorry, Nagraj, Aishwarya. Okay, Nagraj is happy. Very good. How about others? Ashish also happy. Okay, Venkat too. I'm glad. How about our ladies team? They're not happy. They're thinking a lot. Okay, JP also. Very good. So Sunita and Aishwarya, you are not happy. Can I take like that?
Yes, because I believe this order, like representation order, is it should be from top to bottom rather than like low to high. Because as per the data table, we are presenting high value to low value, or the largest to
Very good.
smallest.
Very good. So this is what again, people? You might be happy, but your audience will not be happy because the data what you are presenting is in the largest to smallest order, but the chart is giving the reverse order. So it is not having a sync with the data. This is the place where again people will object, like what you have just discussed recently. So how to give that feeling? So again, our experts, they will suggest you, Pravas, what's the big deal on that? Don't be worried. Just go and select the data, go for smallest to largest order. So what's the point? Again, data will be in smallest to largest order, chart will be largest to smallest. So that's not the right option exactly, isn't it? So now I'll tell you a very beautiful trick technique. Just people, just see. Select your text inside the chart, select your text, right click on that and go for format access in the bottom and see a dialog box appears over here. There is a beautiful option we have called categories in reverse order. This checkbox is not activated, so you can activate this symbol and see the beauty with instant effect. Can you see based on the data, your highest revenue product is appearing in the top, right? So this is what the option, categories in the reverse order, right? Now it looks perfect and meaningful chart, right? Yes, Sunita, now happy?
Yes, better.
Yeah. All right, people. So how to create a basic chart? What are the elements needs to be added? How to make it informative? How to bring the latest style? And finally, how to take a right call on the selection of the chart? We got the basic understanding, correct? Now, let's go for our next chart type is called combo chart. So this is one of the essential chart in our routine activities, people. Okay, when you have too much of data or too many columns of data, if you have and you want to plot it in one single graph, so how to take a call without making any kind of dilution or overloading of the content, how to give a neat and clean presentation over there. But what is the relevance of that and why we need to really go for a combo chart? Let's have the basic understanding. Take a look. We have got month-wise sales data and sales in percentage also is there. Now select this entire data and plot a graph. What is the shortcut? Alt F1. All right. So now the moment you go for Alt F1, chart is ready. And as I said, what is the first thing we should do? Anybody?
Chart design.
Right. So go into chart design and always take the last tile. Then remove the grid lines, clicking on the plus symbol, remove the grid lines. Then you talk about the rest. So these are the two minimum things first you should do. Well, we did it. Fine. So now the chart is ready, but this chart we can't present it. Reason? Everything is fine, just where the thing has gone wrong, try to understand. In our chart, there is a legend called sales. Yes, we have got the sales numbers or the columns we have. There is one more legend we have called sales percentage. But do you see anywhere the sign? Do you able to differentiate your sales percentage data? No. But if you see closely, somewhere it is going and sitting in the bottom. Can you see small patches to the adjacent columns? So this is the place where it has gone wrong, people, and we cannot present our data in this format. Now, why and how it is happening? The reason is if you look at our data over here, our sales data is there in numbers, but sales data percentage over here in percentage format. So technically, these are two different formats and cannot be combined with one axis. So what we need to do exactly, we need to create one more axis to the chart area and there we name it as secondary axis or we call it as Z or Z axis or in Excel language we can call it as a combo chart. And there this sales percentage data we are going to define in this axis and that makes a combo chart. So why combo chart is essential needed, we got the basic understanding, right? Now how to create it? Let's go for it. So right click on the chart area and you got a option change chart type, right? Now go for this. And here you have a combo. You can see in the extreme bottom left combo. So this option is available only if you are there in 2013 and above versions of Microsoft Excel. Earlier it was not there. Now this is asking sales data. How clustered column? Let it be. Sales percentage, it is showing line. Instead of line, go for the drop down and choose line with markers. The fourth option from the line category. And once you click this over here, can you see one box over here called secondary axis is yet to be selected? So you can select that. And now, once you click OK, can you see a beautiful chart turns up and how people are going to read this by the legends. So blue color one in the primary axis, the sales data in INR, maroon color one, the secondary axis in the right side, the percentage data in the sales percentage. So this is how to create a combo chart and present our data in a meaningful way. We have discussed that. Any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask.
Prakash, I'm getting only three options for this. I'm not getting this option.
Okay, share your screen, please. Let's see.
When I go change combo, I'm getting only these three options. If I go here, then I see these options.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. First of all, this format chart area box, you close it towards your right side window. Yes. Uh, Then right click on the chart area. Yes. Change chart type. Yes. Combo is there. Go to combo. Now, what is that first one it is showing?
Clustered column line.
Cluster on second one.
Clustered column line or secondary axis.
Okay. That when you go. Second one you go. Let's see. Right.
Yep. Gotcha.
So Mac versions little bit difference will be there. So you have to just explore nothing much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Now, once we have done with this combo chart, let's go to our next one is called budget versus actuals or target versus actuals or planned versus actuals. And this is one of the most essential chart type people in our routine activities, whether every month end or quarter end or half yearly, yearly, whatever the presentations we do, we just need the most all this kind of charts. But the question is, without spending much time, how to create such kind of beautiful chart in our workplace. So we have got three columns over here, naming called month, target, and actuals. Kindly select and go for Alt F1. We know to prepare a simple graph. And first thing first, going to chart design and take the latest style, the last one. Now going to the plus symbol and click on the grid lines to off. So kindly confirm up to this state data is ready, chart is ready. Right. Now the moment you have done with this over here, okay. Now simply go for right click on the chart area and there you have change chart type. Then go to combo in the extreme left bottom. Target data, what type of chart it is showing? Clustered column. Target data, it is ideal to always go for our line chart. So go for this target data drop down and choose line with markers. Okay. Now coming back to the actuals, what it shows me the for the line. So instead of line, go for that clustered column, the extreme top clustered column. And now, can you see a beautiful chart turns up? Go and click OK. And this is how, with no time, we can end up with a beautiful target versus actuals chart type. Check it out. Now, just stay focused. A beautiful scenario we are going to discuss. Suppose say this is what the last month meeting I have presented to my audience. People were quite happy, no doubt about it. And this kind of presentation is recurring in nature, as I told you. Suppose this month also I need to present something like this. So what is the options I have? I can only simply change my data, but the chart will remain the same, right? So do you think that the same amount of impact I could create also this month? Never, because the same chart people have seen already. So now how to make it different? How to still back the audience appreciation over here, but how to make it different over here? Just see the beauty. Go for this, Control D, select your chart, go for Control D. Just keep it in the bottom for your later reference. So this is one type of chart we have presented. Fine. Now this month, how to make it different? Just see. Right click on the chart area and go for over here. Say, take an example, change chart type and choose combo. Target is already showing line with markers. Don't touch that. Actuals is showing clustered column. That also you change with line with markers. And once you go for this, no need to go for any kind of combo series or access anything. Just simply go and click OK and see the beauty. This is one more version of your target versus actual. So sometimes you show like this and sometimes you show this one, the current one. So people happen to see something different and they will be very happy. Looks cool. What's say? So this is how people, the target versus actuals or budget versus actuals or planned versus actuals, how to present it. We got the basic understanding. Now I'll take you through a beautiful chart type. The next sheet we have called waterfall. So this is most important chart type people nowadays in the hotcake in the market, also in the industries, whichever the industry you are working with, or whichever the department you are working with, waterfall chart is more popular nowadays. Sometimes people call this as a staircase diagram. Sometimes people call it as a our bridge chart, like different names people name it because it looks like a bridge or sometimes it looks like a staircase diagram. But technically, this is a waterfall chart. And this waterfall chart, it has come into force only if you are there in 2019 and above versions of Microsoft Excel. But 2016, certain versions you will be having, not with all. So JP, if you have that, you can start working with me. Else you just watch my screen tomorrow when you get a chance to upgrade, you can use that even. Now, what is this waterfall? Where to use this? So basically this waterfall chart will be more ideal people when you have the mixed reference, like you have got mixed combination of the data, like you have got positive, negative. So what is the meaning by positive, negative? Like say, if I talk about HR front, we have the attrition rate or attrition data. So new joinees will be there, exit employees will be there. If I'm talking about my finance data, my cash flow, inflow will be there, outflow will be there. If I'm talking about my sales or marketing data, last month to this month, growth will be positive, growth will be negative. If I'm talking about my source or inventory related data or stores data, my new items receipts will be there and I will be issuing also my items to the plant or stores. So all this kind of positive, negative kind of combinations when the data is there, you can showcase the better format that is called waterfall. Now, one more concept where you can use this waterfall also when you have a sequential activity. Now, suppose say we are going to launch a product. So in that product, whatever the activities are involved, just starting from RM procurement to finished goods, the entire story you can present it in a waterfall as well. So we are going to see a second example over here. Just see. Suppose say I want to purchase a, I want to produce a product. For that, I have purchased raw materials and that is of 50,000. and I have incurred a labor cost on that of 1 lakh rupees. So right now, if somebody asks me at this state, was how much you spent? 50 plus 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50. Now the same I have taken to my plant area and I have processed it. So I have incurred a overhead cost of 2 lakhs. So total 3 lakhs 50,000. Then when I import the raw material people, my government is giving some tax benefits or input credit I have taken, or government has given me a cashback of 25,000. Now, whatever the amount I spent, 3 lakh 50, I will square off this 25,000 out of that. So total 3 lakh 25,000 I have spent. Now, this is my whole data. I have put it in a tabular format. Pretty clear? Now, looking at the same, my boss asked me, Pramas, why don't you plot this data in a graphical format? Well, I can go for a graph. But what happens? No doubt a beautiful graph is turning up. We know it all take fun. But do you believe that any kind of relationship between these activities? It is just showing as if five individual entities are presenting over here, but there is no connectivity. So this is the reason why right selection of the chart on the data is also very, very essential, people. I just told you. So now this chart is not making any sense. So right click on the chart area and go for change chart type. So when you go for change chart type, you have a beautiful option called waterfall. So now you check, do you have that, all of you? So those who are having, you can make use of that. So as I told you, this option is available since 2019 and above, but 2016, some specific versions only it is there. So JP, if it is there with you, please go ahead and start using it. So now when I go and click OK, Ashish, no. Which version you are working with, Ashish?
I'm using 2013.
Okay, so you have to upgrade your system. There is no other options. Now,
Okay.
the moment you go put this over here, now can you see over here this chart? If you look at this, is having some kind of connecting lines between the activities. So that's why people call it as a bridge chart. Okay. And if you see the larger picture, again, it seems like a staircase diagram also. So sometimes people call it as a staircase chart, but technically this is a waterfall chart. So though it is a waterfall people over here, but we cannot present it as a waterfall chart as such, but because if you look at our data, okay, I can remove the grid lines, it will be more clear. Yeah. Now, if you look at our table data, how many activities technically we have? Anybody?
Four. Four.
Four. But it is showing five because total cost is not an activity. This is just a summation of all the above data. That is the reason why we cannot consider total cost over here as a separate activity, and this is the place where it has gone wrong, and this is the reason why this chart, though we have made it waterfall, but this is not yet ready as a waterfall. So how to deal with the same? Just see, I will select my total cost. My entire activities will be selected. I will again select total cost. Only total cost is selected. Now, right click upon the same. You will be finding a beautiful option called set as total. What is that? Set as total. Now see the beauty. This entire activity which was showing up, now it will be moving down. So you can have just right click on any of the columns and add data labels. So everything will be added over here. Now, anybody would like to go for this, say how you have to read your data. My first activity is the material purchase 50,000. So is it touching the line of 50,000? Yes. Now, second activity of labor expenses, it has incurred. It has come into force only if I complete my first activity. So that's why you can see it is not touching to the axis. And the moment I spend 1 lakh, 50 plus 1 lakh, is it giving that cumulative effect? So this stage, if anybody wants to know how much spent, how much expenditure I have spent so far, so they can directly connect with this. So 1 lakh plus 50, 1 lakh 50. So apart from that, overhead cost 2 lakh. So 2 lakh plus 1 lakh 50. Is it touching the line of 3 lakh 50? Yes. So this is how anybody is interested to see stage wise how much we have spent, they can look at that. Suppose say as a company CEO, I want to know from this particular project how much benefit I have got it or what are the total expenses I have incurred so far. I can simply look at this last column. I don't need to go for entire stage wise to look into. Just I have to focus in total cost activity. So this is how people, this kind of waterfall chart nowadays being more popular in the industries. So taking the data, different types of data of your workplace, you can keep trying. And as I said you, the theory, it is already mentioned over here, where you have got the cumulative flow effect or sequential activity, plus minus negative variances, and where to use exactly. So where you go for variance analysis or reconciliation data, costing, you're doing or stage-wise value additions, or you want to do some comparative analysis between last quarter to this quarter, all this kind of stuffs you can go for waterfall. All right. So I believe this waterfall is working.
How can one remove those lines between?
These lines you are talking about,
Yeah.
these lines are you're not supposed to move. This is the property of waterfall. This is what is showing the connectivity between the activities. If you do not want, you can show remove it. You can go for simply select like this over here. Now all these things are selected. Now if I go and select again one more over here, right? I can go and select and delete one by, but I would suggest not to delete. But if you do not want, there are different options over here in the quick layout, and you can just go for whichever it is not showing the lines. So if you see one over here, this is not showing the lines. Can you see that?
Yes. Yeah.
So you
Thank you.
can check out with the different layouts.
Yes.
Right. Now let's go for our pie chart. Pie chart. Yes, this is one of the essential chart again. Sometimes people are more demanding. Even though you create a beautiful chart in bar, line, or column, they will demand pie chart only because they are more comfortable in pie chart. So they don't want to leave their comfort zone. Okay. So if my boss is demanding like this, I can't say no. And even though I justify people, they will not understand. So better don't waste your time. Whatever the demand, give it. But how to make it a better presentations? There you can make a difference. Let's see. Select your data, month and sales. Now go to insert, and over there you have got different chart types. There's a pie option over here. Just say this is your pie option. Go for that. And when you go for insert pie, you have got 2D pie, the very first option. Go for 2D pie. And there, when you click, your pie chart is ready. But as I told you, if you remember the first thing first, what is that? Going to chart design, go for the last style. All right. Now, this is creating this kind of legends in the bottom, which is technically not playing any role. You can select and delete. And I told you chart title, ideally you should place it into the right side. We placed it. Now, whenever you have the chart, I told you, you have to make it informative by adding the data labels. So right click on the any of the pie area and go for data labels, add data labels. So you can notice some data labels are inside pie, some are outside, or the entire thing is inside pie. Could be the case. But ideally, whenever you prepare your pie chart, people, it's always better Retain your data labels outside of the pie area so that it will be giving a neat and clean flavor. So how to make it? Select one of the data labels. All the data labels should be in selection. Right click on that. You got an option called format data labels. Don't go for format data series. Go for format data labels. In the bottom, it is there. And once you do so, you can see a window box will be turning up from the right side. And the first thing first, here, if you look at, this is showing the label position over here. Just see. This is showing over here best fit, isn't it? Instead of that, go and change it to outside end. So this is the first change. Then all the pie charts, if you see the entire data labels are outside of the pie area, then first make it bold, Control B, and increase the font size if necessary by 1 or 2 points. And once it is done, remember one thing, whenever you are presenting your data in pie chart, your data labels cannot be ever expressed in terms of numbers. It has to be always in terms of percentage. In the same window box, if you see there is a percentage option, the checkbox is not activated. You can activate. So it will be added the percentage value in the data bars or the data labels. But we do not want that values. So exactly percentage above to that one value option is there, which you can deactivate. So it will be landing up only with the percentage values. But having just only the percentage, people may ask a lot of questions. So Prabhas, what is this 6%? What is this 8%? Which month it is? So before they ask, why don't you give it to them? So there is a checkbox called category name, and you can select that checkbox and see the beauty. With immediate effect, you will be having the data labels popping up along with the month, the details of the labels. But the problem is, if you look at, it is just overlapping with each other and is not giving such kind of clean look over there. So how to avoid this? Just the best option. Here you have got separator, one box is there. Just see this separator box. Okay. So go there, this box over here and click on that navigation button and choose the option called space. And immediately you could see all these data labels is going to appear in one by one line. So this is how, when you go and look over here, the chart is somewhat looking better, neat and clean, presentable, informative. What say? So whatever we did so far, anybody can do that. So now the time has come how to make our presentation different from others. So just one thing, look at my screen, people, try to understand a beautiful concept again. Whenever you are presenting your pie chart, okay, if you present as it is, people don't like it. And I told you, audience is having a different level of expectation. So what they expect that you should present your data in such a way, it should tell a beautiful story to the people over there. But how to do that? A storytelling format. Just see. First of all, in the pie chart, you need to identify which pie is having the maximum percentage or maximum occupancy. So if you look at our data, May month on, yeah, May month is having the maximum occupancy, right? So that May month pie should be always facing in this pattern in the diagonal corner. So technically, where November month is there, our May month pie is supposed to be there. This is the first thing. And this is what the latest style. Okay, but how to bring that? To bring the same, we need to rotate the pie. And to rotate the pie, you can right click on any of the pie and you have an option format data series. And when you go to format data series, you will be finding a dialog box is on where angle of first slice, a marker, a bar is there. And the bar slowly you just slide it. Can you see? The pie chart starts rotating. Now, unless and until you bring it to the May month over there in the top, okay, you should not stop doing it, or you should rotate in such a way. The angle, what I showing the diagonal angle, the May month should face to that angle. You have to retain it, right? Now, once you have done with this, close this window and keep the cursor outside. Once click on the blank cell, then select your May month. Now, can you see when I select May month pie, all the pies are in selection. And there, select one more time May month. Now only May month pie is in selection. Okay. The same, the moment you order something from our Pizza Hut or Domino's Pizza to your home for the dining purpose, how do you take a slice out? Similarly, the take one slice out and try to present it. So this turns out to be a beautiful story. What is that? From the entire year in the May month, we are making the maximum revenue. So this is the story. We can populate or we can convey the message to the audience. Right, people? Looks good, neat and clean, presentable, and informative as well. Yes. So if you have any doubts, any queries in pie chart, people, you can ask me. Are you happy with your presentation? Or you feel still anything is missing? Okay. You cannot connect with this right now. Let me take you through. Just watch my screen. The moment we go for this people, this kind of chart, can you see our data labels over here, this August, September, October, since there is very minute differences are there, it is closely held to each other and seems to be diluted and all. And this is what the problem we face. Sometimes our data labels are overlapping with each other in the pie chart. Then how to present it effectively? This is what a major concern. I'll tell you a very beautiful technique. Just say, select one of the pie, all the entire pie chart data labels will be selected. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm just rectifying this. Select one of the data label, all the other data labels should be in selection. Now suppose say August, September, October is closely held to each other and this is really diluting my entire process. Fine. So I'll go and select my August again. So my August data label alone is in selection. You can see that I will hold it and I will drag it over here. Can you see? A leader line is turning up automatically. Similarly, I'll go for September and I'll go for it. So this will be helpful for data labeling and all, and you always keep away your data labels from the pie areas. And people will love to see that. Somebody from the present area, they will be asking you, how did you create these lines? Some people they will believe, no, no, you would have created some taking some lines options from the insert shapes, whereas we never done like that. So this is how people, whenever you believe your data labels are very close to each other, you can just keep away from the pie area. You have got a lot of space around and you can utilize that. Helpful? So this is how people The moment you present your pie chart, how to present it effectively, we got the basic understanding. Now, I'll take you through one more chart type. This is just for your information, like somewhere you may come across if you are working with an MNC or if you have some counterparts of your European and American countries. They prefer to see this kind of chart. This is called benchmark chart. So don't get confused that there might be some kind of style like waterfall, bar, combo. We should have one style called benchmark. No, this is nothing but the other versions of our target versus actuals. So don't worry whenever you come across this kind of chart from the overseas counterparts. Okay. So there is no such kind of chart called benchmark. This is a coin term. Okay. Now, coming to the next automatic chart. So what is the meaning of automatic chart? Is it something that I will be commanding to Excel and Excel will recognize my voice and plot the graph? Is it there something? No. So automatic chart something is we will be populating our chart once in such a way that whenever I go and upload my data, my chart will be plotted accordingly. So I don't need to go and repeatedly work with my chart area. Okay. But how to deal with that, I'll tell you. So just watch my screen. From March to December, select your data and delete. Numbers will be changing. Don't worry about that. Everyone is having a different number. My numbers will be not matching with yours, and each and every click keeps changing the numbers. Don't worry. Now, just watch my screen. No need to do any more anything. I will select my data. I plot my graph. Okay. Now, tomorrow, if I believe my March month business is completed, so I'll go and type and March I'll be populating. But do you believe that my March month data is being there inside the chart? No. So what we do in that case, we select our chart, then we realize our March data is not coming up inside the range. So we take our mouse pointer and we drag it like this. Nothing wrong, absolutely fine. But this task is recurring in nature. Every month end, I need to go and keep on increasing one by one cell down. Now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, what if I go and take an anonymous range like this? Then it will be leading to this kind of gaps over here, space over here. So people will be definitely asking a question. Prabhas, why there are so many gaps? Can I say, sir, we are yet to complete the business year? Something like this. That's not the right way to express it, right? So this is what is the practice we have today we are going to stop. What you can do over here is just do one thing. Select your data. Start working with me. Convert your data into table. We discussed in our day 1, day 2, and day 3 as well. What is the shortcut to convert your data into table? Control T, not Alt T, JP, it's Control T. So when you go for Control T, T for Tango, T for table, and you get a dialog box, click OK, and you will be getting the data is converted into table. Now just plot a graph. Alt F1. And whatever the things you have learned, just try to apply all these things like going to chart design, take the last tile and going to the plus symbol, remove the grid lines, then right click on the chart column, going for over here, format data series, fill, and within that vary colors by point. Now to make it more informative, add the data labels. Now data labels, I told you always make it readable. Chart title you should have in the right side. And when data label is there, access scale is not playing any role. So this is how whatever things we have learned, we have applied everything. And once it is ready, do let me know. Right? Now, once it is ready, Just go and fill the month only. Don't fill the data as such, just fill the month. See the beauty. I'll type MAR, enter, March is populating, APR coming off, May is included, JUN. Can you see? I'm just focusing with my data entry. Rest of things Excel is taking care. Equal intervals, columns is popping up, lines, I mean the colors also changing randomly, and the values also populated, the data labels are being added. So everything is happening automatically. So what is the other beauty of doing this? Any point of time, if you want to show the quarterly results, you don't need to showcase the entire data. Just go for only for the quarter, April, May, and June. The moment we go for this over here and click OK, only quarterly results. So people would be happy. We are not showing unwanted data. Unwanted questions are not going to come up. And this is how, again, one more advantage of format as table option we have explored. All right. So just get the feel. Any doubt, any queries in this? Anybody? Here the data, how it comes, because there is a formula already ready-made available called rand between. So the job is to generate some random data. That's why the formula is being replicated. So don't be expecting that Excel will understand the data also. No, you have to spend time for typing. That you have to do. And chart is something people, it's all about your innovations, creativity, and presenting techniques, just to make it different. So options are there on the right click, chart design, options are always there. Okay. And again, how to make our chart presentation better to get some different idea, different meaning. I gave you the list of websites people yesterday I showed you also. Same list, you just use it as a resources. And whenever time permits, go and explore what are the different types of charts Microsoft 365 has and how to use it and how to present it and how it is being informative. Just go and keep calculating or keep working on that. Okay. So any doubt, any queries from anybody, people? Hope it was informative. The chart, what are the different varieties of charts we discussed? Ideally, we go and present it mostly in this type of charts. I believe this is informative. So only thing is you have to keep practicing. Right. No problem. Thank you so much, Aishwarya. Thanks, JP. All right. If you have any queries, feel free to ask because topic wise we are done. So if you have any doubts, any queries, any formulas, any functions, any queries, feel free to ask. And I'm very sorry for yesterday's because I could not send the recording. There was a bit of glitch in the Microsoft Teams. It was not storing the recordings in the SharePoint. So later we have rectified and I have sent it today. So you make use of that day 3 recordings as a pivot table and day 4 also I'll be precisely consolidate everything and I'll drop you a final mail on that. All right. Thank you so much, Venkat. It's my pleasure. Keep practicing, be in touch, and keep spreading the words to your friends, colleagues. So those who are looking for the same kind of training and they're not getting the opportunity, so you can give them a helping hand.
Prabhas, apart from
Yeah.
this, I have a query
Yeah.
like how to merge to Excel file if we have last data and we want to merge rather than we look up or copy pasting.
Okay, that's a good one. If you want to learn, you can stay back. I will be also explaining that. I would love to. If you anybody else also would like to learn those techniques, being a non-programmer of Excel without using macro, how to combine multiple files or how to consolidate multiple Excel files, you can have a look at that. So in our sample case studies folder, do you see a subfolder I have shared called sales data? Yes, people?
Yes.
Right. And when you just navigate through this, can you see there is an option called 3 year sales data? One folder is there, and all this 3 years data is there 2016, 17, 18. 3 years data is there. Okay. Right. Now, the operation what we are going to do is called our function called power query. Okay. For that, some ground rules, as I told you yesterday. Please ensure that all of your rest of your applications closed, no Excel file, nothing is opened. Please ensure that. The first thing. And whenever you want to consolidate many more Excel files, ensure that they are in one folder. They are not scattered into multiple locations. They are in one folder. And in that folder, there is no other files except the files to consolidate. Okay. Now, having said this, sorry, open Excel, a blank Excel file. Don't go for in the same folder, right click and new and Excel. Don't do that. We have a very bad practice also. Whenever we ask for Excel, then we go immediately. So again, this is going to store in the same folder. You should not do that. So open a new Excel file. Okay. Now keep this ready. Now the ground rules again for Power Query. When you go for multiple files to consolidate, just watch my screen. I have selected everything and I have opened. Okay. Now when I go for this, you can see all my files are having the same column headers. Same column headers. Here, sales data, region, all these cases are there. So this is our first rule. The file should contain the same col or similar column headers across all the files. And second, the data has to be converted into table. This is what the rules, minimum rules for data consolidation you should follow. So if you see headers are same, yes. Data is converted in table, yes, because that is why this kind of formatting, filter buttons, all these things are there, right? Now I'll close all these files, right? Now having said this, now in that new Excel file, whatever you have opened, start working with me. I'm working with full screen. If you have any questions, stop me then and there. Okay. Go to your data tab. In the data menu, we have a very beautiful option called get data. Get data. Okay. So when I go for this get data, we have an option from file and within that from folder. Do you see all everybody? Ashish, for you, it will not work. But rest, those who are having 2016 and 365, they can start working with me. But JP, for you, get data may not be there. You might be, or you need to go for some new query or something, or some new options will be there.
Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah. So I'll help you out. Otherwise, I mean, once I'm done, if it is not working for you, just hold on otherwise. Okay. Now, rest people who are having 365, please stay focused. As I said, going to data, get data from file, from folder. The moment you go for it, you can notice over here a window will turn up asking where is the files. So I'll go to my desktop, advanced Excel training, sales data, and 3 year sales. Don't navigate inside the 3 year sales data file. Just reach to 3 year sales. That's it. Don't go one more layer down or don't go in depth of that folder or don't go inside that folder. Now, selecting that 3 year sales file, click open. And when you click open, it will open a query in the backend and it will show this kind of window. So this is called your one of the query window. And it is showing all the types of files what you are trying to consolidate, the date and timestamp, I mean the file type and the location details, everything it is being displayed over here. And below to that, in the bottom section, if you see, there are four options are there: combine, load, transform data, cancel. So we are having the objective of combining the data, right? So go to this combine. There is a small navigation button is there. If you click, it opens three different options. Combine and transform, which we don't need. Combine and load, yes, we need. Combine and load too. We don't want to specify a location. So combine and load, go for it. So when you go for combine and load, it will open a query and it will just try to combine the data, creating all this kind of window options called table options. So here on the left, you see combine files. Now it is started and it is showing table one within that sheet one. Okay. So select your table one, just select. Then this kind of preview is generating. Just see in the right side. So it's a message. If this preview is on, it means my file doesn't have a single error. If this preview is not generating, then I have to go back and look into the file. There might be some errors, unwanted data, unprintable characters, somewhere the other something would be there. Or there might be some blank rows in between, complete row will be blank, could be the case, we never know. So this is the reason why this option is nothing but a check option. So if this preview is generated, my data is error free. Now click OK and see the beauty. In the next step, if you look at the entire 3 years data is going to be consolidated by query and it will just populate the entire 3 years sales data, 60,919 records loaded. And if you see the source name, is it showing all the 3 years data? Check it out. All of you are having the same.
Prabha, I'm getting different option like from start itself.
Mac versions will be different. Let me see. Just share your screen.
Yeah. When I go here, I'm getting get data power query. I'm not getting any folder option.
Yeah, go for it. No problem. Get data. Hmm. Now, 1 minute, 1 minute. Blank query, blank table, online services, other. Just go to other. Is there any option towards? No, no, no. Other. Blank table, blank query, oh data. All. Go to all. Let's see what is showing. All. No, no, no. The tab. In the four tabs are there. No, all towards your left. Yeah, all. So all means file, oh data, blank table, blank query. Go to file menu. Just file. There is a file menu also there. Yeah, in file you don't have. Okay, go for Excel workbook. Let's see. Browse and look at that folder with the 3 year sales data. Yeah, that's it. That's it. 3 year sales data and okay, it is not showing that options. Select all that options in the right side. The three Excel files are displayed. No, select one. Select all. Let's see. Select all. Able to select. Control A. Able to select. Holding the control button, you are able to select. No, it will not work. It will not work. It will not work. If you're unable to select, it will not work. Go for cancel. There will be some options we'll see. Yeah, cancel this also. Just go to the next option. After get data, there's a small button is there.
This
No, no,
is
no, no. This
for
one, yes. Picture from file. No, it will not work. Refresh data, queries, connections. Go to that again. Get data power query. Let's see. From database, from HTML text. From database, go for from database. Yeah, go to page. Just go to page. Okay, close this window. Oops, Max versions are different altogether. Okay, go to that again. Get data. Data source setting. Go for the data source setting. Third option.
So,
Data source. Data source. Search. Okay, close this. Go for the second option. Launch Power Query Editor. Go for over here. More. Yeah. Well, this folder options is missing over here.
yes.
So you have to upgrade, nothing else. Or you can go for the web versions of Microsoft Windows option. You can go for that. In web query also you can do it. That is also one option you have. And for that you no need to be purchasing the license. But yes, you should have at least one Microsoft Outlook account. Then only you can get that free service. This is the option. But I don't think why that should not be a problem over here because you are having the latest version only of. So is there any chance, you can upgrade, update this version? Do you get this, periodically updates also you have to do. Have you made it off in the admin side?
Updates it.
You go for updates that will be updated in from file like the options now you will be getting also. That's not a problem because it is just showing only the files. If you have on from a particular file only you can operate. The folder option is missing. So once you update your MS Office window options, that will be automatically updated. Don't worry. But the steps, yeah, the steps remains the same. Nothing, no changes on that, though it is Mac or Windows based Microsoft Office 365 or anything. The options remains the same, steps remains the same.
Okay, I'll follow that and I'll work
Yes,
for it.
yes. No problem, no problem. All right, so I believe everything is working. Everybody, those who are having 365, they're able to consolidate multiple the 3 years sales data. So this is really a beautiful options, people. This entire section is called Power Query. And this is what is been embedded in our Power BI in the backend. For the data transformation, data cleansing and all, this entire options is being useful. Then the other tool called Power Pivot for data connections, data modeling in Power BI, it is being embedded. So if you know Excel, you can also know Power BI better. It's easy to cap all these things easily. All right. Fine then. So any other queries or doubts from anybody? I'm stopping the recording. Okay.